So about 2 weeks ago, I was at a local grocery store. I was running late. I had to get some stuff for my daughter, and I was shooting out for an event. And I ran into this kid. Now, when I say kid, I'm 48 years old, so everybody's a freaking kid to me. But he was probably 27 now. I knew him when he was much younger. He's been watching my videos, and he sees my location. He lives in this area, and he comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, good to see you." I didn't really recognize him because he got a little bit older, and he's like, "I really would love to talk to you about how I can step up my life. Like, I'm struggling right now. I have my girlfriend, my long-term girlfriend. We're going to get married. I have 2 kids, and I'm just struggling in life right now. Any advice you can give me, I'd totally appreciate it." Well, I was super busy, and I said, "Listen, man, I'm busy. I'd love to sit down and talk to you, but right now I just can't." And I got his number. And so a couple of things that I noticed about him is the car he was driving in was a leased car. And the only reason why I know it was a leased car, because it was a brand new Hyundai, but it was a new one. And I know it was 2023. I know it was new, and it was a leased car. And I asked him, "Hey, is that your car?" He said, "Yeah, I just got it." I was like, cool. And he was wearing very nice clothes, jewelry. He was well put together, yet he was struggling. And so I sent him a message. I said, "Listen, man, what I want to do is I'm just going to email you some of the things that are going to help you. And then if after you read this, after you digest this, we can jump on a call." And he said, "Great, no problem." So the email that I sent him just kind of gave him my observations about first looking at him and now knowing his backstory, that he has a girlfriend, he has 2 young kids, and he's working basically 2 minimum wage jobs. She's not working. She's obviously taking care of the 2 kids. So a couple of things that I first brought up to him is, listen, man, in order for you to succeed in life, you got a couple things already working against you. All right. You're not lucky. You don't have rich parents. You don't have an inheritance. Daddy didn't give you a business. You have none of those things. What you do have is a high school education with no skills, so minimal education and no skills, which means that you're trading your time for dollars, and you have to trade so much of it for so minimal because you have no skill set. On top of that, you're wearing very nice clothes, nice jewelry. So it tells me that you value the look, the image of doing well, but you're really not doing well. You're also leasing a new car, which you'll never own. And maybe I think it was like $418 a month he was paying, which was actually pretty high for a lease. So you're living a lifestyle that you can't afford only to impress people you don't care about. So if you're watching this video, this is for the younger guys out there. I hope you're not older falling into this, but if you're watching this is for younger guys, some life advice on why you're poor. This could also be for women too, but a lot of younger guys, they want the look, they want the validation from others that they're doing well, but they're living paycheck to paycheck, or probably even extended out on their credit. They're driving cars they can't afford, they're renting apartments that are too much for them, and they're really one bad day away from losing everything. So if you're a young man watching this and you have a girlfriend or a wife and young kids, I'm going to give you some hard truths of stuff that you need to do if you really want to get out of the rut. If you really want to get out of the situation you're in, it depends on you. And the first thing you need to do is cut out everything in your life. No more going out to eat for any reason. If you're hungry, you deal with it. If you don't buy your food at a discount grocery store, you don't buy it at all. All the clothes that you have, you're not buying any more clothes for a year. If it's worn out, you repair it. If you can't repair it, you're buying it at Goodwill. Cut out every expense. If you smoke, quit. If you drink, quit. You can't afford it. You can't afford these things in your life right now. Back to your family. Unfortunately, your family is going to have to suffer. They're going to have to suffer in your absence because you need to go out, you need to grind, you need to work. And it's better to do it when they're too young to remember than too old to forget. So if you have young kids, and I know it sucks, you need to let mom deal with the kids. You need to be working every single day. Now, this kid was already working 2 full-time jobs. I didn't ask him how many hours that meant, but I'm going to assume 30 hours is full time. It's probably 40, but I'm going to assume 30. So he's working 60 hours a week already, okay? He has a brand new car. This is what you need to do now, because you have that car and you're locked into a lease. You need to get on Uber Eats. You need to get Uber, Lyft. You need to get on all those apps. And when you're not working all night, you're freaking driving people. You're creating money. That's all you're doing. Your whole purpose in this life right now is just to generate extra money, but you're not spending it. You're going to take that money and you're going to spend it on learning one skill. Now, I told him you need to learn sales. Everybody should learn how to be a good salesman, because it doesn't matter what you sell. If you're good with people and you understand that people buy an emotion and they back into it with logic, if you can understand that, you can sell anything. It doesn't matter. Salesmen are the last people that ever get fired in any company. It's always HR, it's always like the CEOs, it's always middle management. But the hard working, the money makers are salesmen. They don't ever get fired, even in a shitty economy. So I said you need to learn sales. You need to learn art of negotiations, art of deal. You need to learn all that stuff. So the money that you're making as an Uber driver doing all this, you're gonna go to seminars. You're gonna either buy seminars online, you're gonna learn that skill, and you're going to practice that skill backwards and forwards. You're going to possibly hire a coach, somebody who's been there, who's done that. This money is for your education. It's not for new clothes. It's not for your wife or your girlfriend. It's not that. It's for your education. You need to self-educate yourself and learn this skill. Once you have a working knowledge of this skill, you're going to apply to every fucking job in every industry until somebody gives you a chance. All sales jobs, whatever it is, till somebody gives you a chance. And then you're going to be the best employee, the best salesman that company has ever seen. If their quota is 20 phone calls a day, you better be doing 100 calls a day. If their quota is 50 emails a day, you better be doing 200 emails a day. You want to create volume and you want to be consistent. You want to hone in on this skill, because once you're honing in on this skill, you're going to create success. You're going to get sales. The boss or the owner of this company is going to start noticing you, and more opportunities are going to come to your way. This is the only way to dig yourself out of these minimum wage jobs, is to learn the skill, okay? During this time, if you're still working those 2 full-time jobs and you have this job, of course, you're going to have to get rid of one of them. You might have to get rid of both of them, but you better still be driving Uber at night. You still need to create that income, that extra cash, because you still have to keep educating yourself. Now that you're making a little bit more money, and you're replacing those 2 full-time jobs with this job, you're not done. You keep driving for Uber, you're not buying clothes, you're not buying bullshit. Okay? You're working. That new skill set that you learn, now you're going to actually have to go to places, to seminars. You're going to have to get in front of people and maybe even get a better coach. If you had one that got you to a level, find another one. Getting podcasts, buying podcasts. You're needing to take a minimum of 3 to 4 hours of your day and focus on YouTube, podcasts. I don't care, whatever self-education you have to do, you're going to focus and learn that skill. You're going to want to learn that skill so well that once you become a master at it, you're going to realize in a year's time how completely different your life has changed. You cut out all the bullshit and you pulled yourself out of being poor. You pulled your family out of that poverty. After a year, I promise you, if you do these things and you get that job and you're hustling, you're creating volume, massive action, massive consistency, you're going to pull your kids and your wife or your LTR out of that situation. Then you can move them into a nicer area. Then you have a little bit of income, but you're always going to keep learning new skills. Once you master that skill, you're going to go into another skill set. You're going to always keep improving. This is the problem in mostly the Western world. We all want the trophy without ever doing the work. We all want to feel like we're big, we have all this money, but most of us aren't. 10% of the entire population make roughly $122,000 a year. The rest is under that. 50% of the US population makes about $38,000 a year. That's the mean, that's the average. So if you're a young man watching this and you have no or very little education and no skill sets, I hate to tell you, if you don't do this action, if you don't do these steps, you're gonna be 30, 35, 40 in the exact same position you are, just older. And now it's going to be too late, because your kids are going to be older and they're going to see the struggles that you have. And the last thing I will ever want a dad to hear is, I don't want to be like my dad. I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck like my dad. I want my kids to be like, you know what, my dad did awesome. I'm going to be better than him, but he killed it for us. He worked hard, he sacrificed, he pulled us out of poverty and got us into middle class, upper middle class, whatever you want to call it. But if you have little education and no skills, all you're going to do is get minimum wage jobs. All of these skills, whether it's sales, could be coding, a lot of this stuff you can learn online. You can self-educate, and then it's up to you to just apply to so many companies. Somebody will give you a chance. Even if you have to move out of the area you're in, even if you have to move to a bigger city where there's more opportunity, it's up to you as a man to level yourself up for your family. Nobody else can do it for you. You have to do this. So if you're a young man watching this and you're stuck and you're in the same position, these are the steps you need to take. Back to my friend, he ended up doing a coaching call with me, and we ended up getting him out of his lease. It did cost him some money, but luckily his parents were able to help him out, and he got like a $5,000 car. I don't want to get you guys into debt. You don't want debt that you can't repay. You don't want to get into a situation where it's a revolving thing. You're robbing Peter to pay Paul every single day. That's how you stay poor. So if you are watching this and this is something that's bothering you, if this is something that's eating at you, book a free coaching call with me. I help people. I'm not looking for money on this. I'm just trying to help you understand that whatever position you're in life, you can change it, but you have to change it. It has to be on your terms. You can't just wish this away. You can't just wish that things would become better for you. They're not. They're actually going to get worse. Most men's lives get worse year by year because they don't do the things. They don't level themselves up. I don't want this to happen to you. My name is Jared Schoonmaker. This is Magnetic Men's Club. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, hit like, subscribe, the bell icon so you know when new videos are being made. With that, have a good one.